Jackie Lee Price for Shadowboxruk UK. Today's guest hails from Rhode Island. She's an activist. She's the current WBA super lightweight champion of the world, Reis. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing great. It's always great to be here. I love talking to you.
I love talking to you, and it's been a while. So how you been? I know you've been very busy.
Very, very busy. I've been great though. I've been great. This year has been very, very busy for me personally, for me professionally in boxing and my newfound profession in acting, defending titles, gaining titles, there's future fights happening, coaching. So it's been really, really busy, but in a good way. I'm excited.
So I'm going to get onto the acting thing in a minute. But let's talk about the boxing first. You are one of the lucky ones that you got to fight last year, and you've been staying ready. I've been watching you on social media, and this Friday, you will be fighting the Australian, is it Diona Delphine?
Yes.
For the vacant IBO and the WBA super lightweight title. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. It's about time, my friend.
Absolutely, it is. 13 years in the game. I think I paid my dues to get my well-deserved fights and respect and recognition and platforms to perform.
Yeah, 100%. So listen, I understand that Diona is, she had a break, didn't she? I think it was for 6 or 7 years. She came back a couple of years ago, fought Delphine Pursoon, strong game opposition. Have you had a chance to have a look at her?
I have, and it's funny because she's another one that, even though I was kind of under the radar in the professional ranks, I've been professional for 13 years, so I knew of her. I remember watching her stop Frida Wahlberg. I was watching it with Shelly Vincent. We were like, yo, she dropped her. Oh my God, that was crazy. And then when she fought Layla McCarter in that BKB, that sphere thing, which I wish they do it again, but I was amazed at her heart, even her power, the way she was fighting Frida. Like, she was getting outboxed, but she just never gave up. She took shots and she can crack, and she's a she's a former champion for a reason. So I remember following her, and one day I might fight her. Just these, putting it up, pinning it up. Never thought I'd be light enough to fight her, but I know who she is, and we have this opponent for a reason. I don't like to cherry pick. Sometimes things happen where sanctioning bodies don't sanction certain fighters, so I kind of have to oblige, but I'm ready. These are the types of fights I want. I don't want easy fights. I'm past that.
This girl, like you say, can crack. I was having a little look at some of her work. She is a come forward fighter. She's tough. She's durable. And like you say, she's got a big heart. She's got a really big heart. But do you think having that time out of the ring is going to have an effect on her?
I mean, let's be real here. Boxing is a very, very short stay. You have a very short stay. I mean, women's boxing is a little different. And, once you're past like 38, 39, that's supposedly you're on your way out. Even with female fighting, you start getting 40, 41, you're on your way out. But, I don't know how she feels spiritually. I don't know how she feels physically. But I do know I'm younger, I'm bigger, and I'm more skilled than she is. But I do think a layoff, it depends on where her mental is. A long layoff you can come in feeling really, really fresh, or you can come in, thinking you still got it. And I think having that age in that break, it may be on, it may be on the other side of, maybe you got one more crack at it, but I don't care who it is. She bleeds blood like I do. She breathes air. And I'm supposed to be here. I want this more than she does. This is my belt I'm defending. I want to gain it. I'm going to win this IBO belt. I'm going to earn it. I expect a good fight. We prepare for war. So we're going to war, and I'll be ready for war. So we have a game plan going forward. And we got a big toolbox. I've been working, even when I wasn't in camp, we've been working on things, just really honing in on every time I step up on this stage to perform, because I'm where I'm at in my career, we're going to make it worthwhile. I don't care if I have one fight a year, I'm going to make sure I put it all out there.
You sound confident, real confident, but it also sounds like you're not underestimating her at all. Am I right in thinking that?
Absolutely. I don't take anything away from any opponent or anybody who goes in that ring. It takes a lot of, figurative balls to get in that ring. It takes a certain type of person to even want to go and fight, so I would never underestimate her. I respect her as a fighter, respect her as a champion. However, I learned going forward, especially from some years now, about 2 or 3 years, maybe since the breakfast fight, is that, you know, sometimes I'm a little too humble for my own good. And I got to realize how good I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't give too much respect in that ring. I give you respect, but I'm also in there to do a job, and a job that I actually learned that I do very well. So I don't want to underestimate her. I expect her to bring her A game. I wouldn't expect or accept anything less. So absolutely not underestimating her. I trained this camp was probably the hardest camp. Every camp gets harder. Every camp gets harder.
So what's interesting about the dedication, like I say, on social media, you're always working away, and it has been difficult for you to get the fights. But then you come to London to corner Ebony Bridges, and yet you were still hustling.
I was all week.
What was the training like in London?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, I got a break from the Philly heat, first of all. But Hannah Rankin, man, I sparred her a few years back, and she has another type of warrior. I just love her. Her personality and her spirit and her warrior attitude were fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, and just love the game and want to learn and will, you know, show up in whatever she has and learn. Just, I love that. So it was awesome to be there and to be able to support Ebony, but still I was in camp, you know, 3 weeks away from fight. So I was able to, you know, get out of the bubble this time and actually see a little bit of the UK, especially get to know and see people physically in gyms. And I was out there, I did like 26, 28 rounds of sparring out there. And it was amazing to be able to also see my progression and her progression as fighters individually, because we are completely different fighters than 3 years ago when we first sparred. She's been working and I've been working. So it was interesting to be able to work on the things we've been working in camp with somebody totally different. Because I have sparring partners here. I was working with Ebony too, but the same things that we were working on, I was able to see them successfully work against somebody completely different, much bigger than I am now. And it was just awesome to be able to catch up and get some work out there.
So, yeah, I was going to say to you, actually, she has really improved. I was going to ask you, what are the things that you know, if you could pinpoint the things that like, gosh, this is good about her and this is good about her, well, what would you say they were?
She's learning her distance now. Like, it's hard to, especially when you're a longer, bigger fighter.
She's got long arms and all.
Long arms, like, you're just walking and stuff. You don't really know your distance. I can hear even like Noel as a coach, he's got better. Like, I hear him saying other different things, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You know, she's gotten stronger. She's been working. She's gotten strong. Like, all right, you got a little pop on your punch, even though I'm like light in the ass right now and I'm really small. But she's getting smarter. She's letting her hands go. She's trying different things. Yeah, she's grown. I was pleasantly surprised. I had to step up too, so it was awesome.
Yeah, it sounds great. And I know you're not going to be looking too far ahead, but I know somewhere along the line, you and Brian must have a little hit list just folded up in a corner somewhere.
Maybe.
Who's on that hit list? Let's say Jessica McCaskill, maybe Chantel Cameron. Talk to me about
I mean, obviously, you know, we're here to unify right now. So after Friday, I'll be a unified champion in the super lightweight division. We have Jessica McCaskill. I have no idea what they're doing, but we'll just stay in 140 for now. We have Chantel Cameron and Mary McGee scheduled to fight at some point. And now we have a vacant WBO title that's going to be fought for on Friday. So I'm very interested to see who's going to win. And, you know, things could get really spicy because I know we've been talking about a 140-pound division tournament. So, you know, I'm walking into it with 2 belts after Friday. We'll see who's crowned champion between Bustos and Camara. I can't wait to see that fight. I mean, if McGee and Cameron's fighting, I love to take the winner of Friday's fight as the first round of some kind of tournament. And then we also have Abrera versus Candy Wyatt for an eliminator for Jessica McCaskill. I am very excited to see Abrera fight because she can box. She is a very skilled and very well, like, she's growing. I like to see her grow.
Yeah.
And against Candy Wyatt, I fought Candy Wyatt. It's a tough girl. She keeps coming forward. She's like a zombie. So I can't wait to see that. And to see what happens in the 140 division, because it's like dead right now. And I would love to see McCaskill defend one of her titles, and I would love to see Abrera beat that ass and then see what happens. So that's kind of, I want to see what happens. I obviously, not to give too much away, I do want the winner of Friday's WBO. You know, I want the champion. Whether it's Bustos or Camara, I want the winner. And then I want to unify. Of course, I want to fight Chantel, man. I would love to fight. I can't wait till we fight. I just love how her hunger. She's skilled. She's getting better. She's really strong. I was gonna say she knows what her power is right now. She put on a great performance against Hernandez. I mean, I saw some improvement there. And you know, as she gets better, I'm getting better. I want the best of us to come together. And I also want to see Mary fight, man. Poor thing. She has that knee injury right now, and I know she was really looking forward to fighting Bustos. But we've talked about it. We're cool. Obviously, we're homies. But like, yo, if we end up having to fight, just bring your best. Then we just got to put on a show for everybody. So I wouldn't say it's a hit list. It's just a plan to see where the chips fall.
You put it way more politely than I did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a hit list. I mean, I would love to go where my 7 losses are and like avenge the losses. That would be great. I would love to fight Hammer at like 54 maybe now, because she would not have a chance. Hannah Gabriel's, but she's doing other things at heavyweight. You know, Michaela Wren, she's well and gone. There's some on my loss list that I wish I could avenge, because I have what I needed so long ago now. And we laugh about it like, yo, can you imagine if you fight Christina Hammer now? I'm like,
oh gosh,
I know, but you know,
but you did do your learning, you know, on the job, didn't you? So
absolutely, I did.
You know, you can't really beat yourself up. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, I always tell people that I would never change my career. I love my career. I love the lessons I've learned, the warrior, the respect I've gotten, that I've learned on the job, like you said. I wouldn't change it. I mean, we all know Cecilia Breakus ain't gonna give me the rematch, so we can just not hold our breath with that either. She's out doing, I think she's planning on fighting again soon, so we'll see what happens.
So talking about Cecilia Breakus, so you fought her very early on in your career, and then obviously Jessica McCaskill comes in, slips in, nicks all the bouts. So if it was a case that you gave a good account of yourself in that fight, so if that chance to fight Jessica McCaskill came up, I'm guessing that you could upset the status quo, judging, you know, your performance in that fight.
Absolutely. I mean, and again, I guess they're taking this as me talking shit, but I wasn't talking shit. The Jessica McCaskill versus Breakus fights were horrible to watch. I'm just skill-wise. The first one was like kind of just a sloppy mess, and the second one was too. I'm not saying that to talk shit. I'm just a boxing enthusiast, and for a spectator, even it wasn't a pleasant sight to see. Did McCaskill do what she had to do to win? Absolutely. Does she do that the second time even better? Absolutely. That's her fight style. She has one of the biggest hearts I've ever seen in boxing. She comes in shape and she has a mission. She doesn't have much skill, but she just comes to fight, and that's okay. This is not me talking shit. That's just whatever. But even if it wasn't me versus Breakus was a lot more pleasing to the boxing eye than it was with McCaskill versus Breakus. That's all I'm saying. And if I ever got the chance to fight McCaskill for the 147-pound undisputed championship, absolutely, I would jump at that. That would be awesome. I think that would be a great fight. Do I think I'd have a better plan than Breakus did? Absolutely, because y'all forget I come from a brawling background. I learned how to box. I know how to brawl. I have strength. I was at 160, knocking 160 girls down. So it's not that I'm, you know, like Breakus, she's always been a good boxer and maybe can't brawl because she can't. I just know how to do it all. So, and I'm learning how to do it all better and better each fight. Absolutely, bring it.
And let's talk about your skill set in terms of what you've got in the toolkit. So just going back to what you were just saying, do you think you have more tools in the toolkit than Jessica McCaskill?
I believe I do wholeheartedly, yes. And again, that's not me talking shit. That's just me real confident about the work I put in and just loving boxing and not putting a ceiling on my learning, because every fight teaches me something. I didn't know I had a good jab up until, I don't know, last 2 years. I should have been using this thing a long time ago the way I'm
Funny,
using
yeah.
it now. You know what I mean? I'm like, why wasn't I doing this before? It just doesn't make any sense. I believe, yes, I do have I mean, Stevie Wonder can see that I have more skills in McCaskill. Sorry to say it again. It's not me talking shit. Again, she's tough. She comes in shape. She could fight her ass off. Is she skilled? No. Can she fight? Yes. There's a difference.
Yeah, yeah. And the one that I think the British fans would love to see is you and Miss Chantel Cameron.
Yes,
that'd
absolutely.
be beautiful.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's the type of fights I love to fight. Don't get me wrong. I loved fighting Cecilia Brækhus because she can box, because it made me dig down into a different part of my toolbox, and also to see if I can even, yes, I can very well. And I can listen and I can adjust. So absolutely. Would I ever want to fight Katie Taylor? She's an avid sparring partner of mine. Hell yeah. I love those types of fights. So as I watch Chantel in her career and grow, I'm salivating at that fight, not because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna beat her. That's such a great fight.
Yeah.
She can brawl, she can box, I can brawl, I can box, I come in shape, I got heart, I want it, she wants it. That's like one of those fan favorite fights.
Absolutely. And what's beautiful about it as well, though, is the mutual respect. There is a little loving going on between you two, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, with the bell rings, I know her pitbull size when come out, but so isn't mine. I'm a whole different person. But that's the thing about it. You know, the bell rings, we have business to do, but I respect somebody's skills. If somebody got skills, they had a great fight. For instance, I've been watching Layla McCarter versus Diana Prazak. Do I personally like Layla McCarter? No, we already stated that. I had personal beef. But did she have a pin perfect game plan against Diana Prazak when she fought her? Absolutely. It was a beautifully executed plan. I watched it. I'm like, yo, that was great. Don't like her personally. She's an idiot. But that was great. So I'll give respect what respect is due. And that's how I operate on all levels of everything. So she's still an idiot, but good game plan.
But to be fair, that's what I like about you, the honesty. Do you know what I'm saying? You're keeping it real. And I know that, I appreciate it anyway. I really appreciate it. So fast forward now.
I love this about UK people. Y'all keep it real, man. That's why we get along.
We ain't got time for... Well, listen, I know I haven't got time for blowing smoke up people's backsides. And the thing is, here's the thing, right? Joking aside, right, Kaylee? When you're asked an opinion, it's just an opinion. And people get so upset. It's like, either you can agree with me or disagree with me. It's fine, but it's just an opinion.
That's it. Relax. It's not going to change the world. Jesus.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, the busy year, trying to muscle in on my territory, on the old acting territory. What? So listen, starring in a film. What's it called? Catch a Fair One. Walking the red carpets, trying to muscle in on my things, bro.
A little bit. Hey, listen, I'm just trying to be welcomed with open arms. That's it. I'm not trying to step on no toes.
Take it all, my friend. Tell me about, a little bit. I'm guessing you can't say too much about it, but tell me a little bit about the film and your character.
So the film's called Catch the Fair One, and the only thing which I'll get into in a minute that we really have to explain is the title and what it kind of refers to. Catch the Fair One just basically means, it's like a term from here that means like you catch the fair fight. It means nobody jumps in, you go, duke it out, or somebody caught the fair one, or let's catch the fair one. And because of this film, the context of it, it also means catch the main character's sister, because she's the fair one, the full-blooded one. So I play a character. Her name is Kaylee. She is an Indigenous woman and she's a former boxer, but it's not my story. It's not about me. And there's probably about 2% boxing in this movie. But it's based around an Indigenous woman who lost her sister, and she just goes to find her. That's all. And it takes, basically, she puts it upon herself to insert herself into the sex trafficking scene because she kind of got a tip about maybe what had happened to her sister. And we just take you on a very visceral ride through. It's not a happy story. And I I had a huge involvement in creating the story. I have a writer's credit to it as well. To kind of give you a background story to how even that happened back in 2017. Joseph, the director, Joseph Kubota Vladiko, which is now like one of my best friends, he slid in my DM on Instagram, which oddly enough,
like they do.
Yep, slid him a DM. And at that point, 2017, you know, I well known throughout the boxing circuit. So he just was getting into boxing, just kind of got into knowing about missing and murdered Indigenous women. So he, as you can imagine, I've gotten dozens of these, hey, I'm a director, you ever want to act in my film type thing. He ended up checking out. He has a lot of TV directorial experience, Narcos, Walking Dead. He had a film already out. So I checked him out. He came up to Rhode Island. We clicked in this instantly. He let me read what he already had, an idea of a strong woman losing somebody close to her. And fast forward to really getting to know my background, my perspective of being an Indigenous woman, me sharing my stories about meeting with different communities and families who have missing and murdered Indigenous family members, not just women, and kind of really honing in the right way on being a male who wasn't Indigenous, trying to tell a female Indigenous story. He really approached it with such respect and wanting to tell the story correctly. You know, I had a huge hand on really creating my character. A lot of parallels. She's Indigenous, mixed Cape Verdean woman who's a two-spirit woman, whose name is Kaylee. I know it's kind of like, wait, is he sure it's not you? But it made it easy and hard, and I'll explain it, to really play this character and really find out what kind of themes and what we were trying to express in this whole film. But also it was tough because I experienced this as being that person. So it was emotionally hard. It was very cathartic in a way as well too, because as the process went on, as we shot, I was picking up different things about her, the character, and how she would react. And what, you know, you kind of, as you know, you kind of got to be an actor of mind. But just the fact that he was really admiring the fact that I just try to bring awareness with my boxing. And that's something that he wanted to do. And he wanted to base it around a story and something that does not get any mainstream media, and a story that needs to be told. I was intrigued by that. And I am blessed beyond measure to even have the first experience as an acting experience, to have so much involvement to every step of the way, to, you know, the themes, even the colors. I got to see people that they were casting. They asked my opinion. It was just amazing. And fast forward to Tribeca 2021, having our world premiere, that was insane because we talked about it, but I couldn't visualize it, which that was a good thing. Because a lot of times we only want what we can see happen, but what we can't see happen is kind of beyond that breakthrough and what that big, amazing kind of end goal is. And we got distribution too by IFC Films. And going forward, we are in countless amounts of film festivals. I'll actually be out in Deauville, France, right after Ebony's fight to go for that world premiere with that. And I am so honored to been able to tell this story, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the activism and the awareness I just try to bring with my boxing platform. But it's just another form of art to me. We all know boxing is not forever, and oddly enough, quick story, a week before he slid into my DM, I was sitting out on my porch and I'm just trying to manifest this. I'm like, you know, I really want to get into acting. I just don't know how. I don't know I just know there's something in it for me. I don't know what it is, but if it's meant for me, it will find me. I let it go. A week to that day, he hit me up, and here we are, exploring this whole new career in acting. It's crazy.
There's so much to unpick there. First of all, congratulations. Absolutely brilliant. Now, the first thing is, listen, I am telling you, the industry is hard, and the way that your role has manifested, this sort of thing doesn't happen easily. It doesn't come to people as easily. I think I remember saying to you right at the beginning, the first, I think, interview was that something about you, but boxing is just a platform for something bigger. That's the first thing. And also your activism it will lead you into loads of different areas in order to get your message across. And then look at that, you get an acting role. Wonderful that you get a writer's credit. Make sure you get more money.
Trust me, I'm on that. No,
and in fact, you should be getting a producer's. If you're sitting in and choosing, sorry, but you should be getting a producer's fee as well.
Hey, man, listen,
okay.
I'm all over it.
But no, it's absolutely amazing. Did you find that being involved in the actual writing process helped you to kind of channel your character? Because like you said, you don't have any experience. Did you find that automatically you kind of found the character rather than having to put on this kind of fake cloak of a character?
Yeah, I did find, and like I said, I was learning something new about her every day. Every time we shot every scene that I would practice and do whatever, read lines. And then when on the day when I was there in front of this actor, it would just be, I would find so many new things. It was awesome, even though the scenes and the story is like, it's a thriller, so it wasn't easy, but you picture it one way and then you do it, I'm like, wow. So it was a lot. I had kind of some leeway on it, but how I think anyway, I think I would have done the same thing to try to really just break her down and see what I could really bring to it, because I really didn't find out who she was until the first day of shooting. I thought I knew who she was, and then by the end of the whole shoot, I learned who she was. She even like I thought I was doing it when we were shooting, but now that I've seen it, now that I heard it from other people, even the way I carried myself as that character, just the certain idiosyncrasies that she had, I picked up a couple of things. It's funny, for some certain people on set that I thought, I like to people watch. And I'm like, oh, he does that when he's about to do this. He gets anxious. He does this. Oh, cool. Can add that. So it was, I guess you could say, yeah, it was a little easier, but it was such an important story for me to tell that even if I didn't have any experience, I would have showed up on set and tried to give it my all. And I had the blessing of working with an acting coach. Her name is Sheila Gray, and she is amazing. And she had the ability to break things down. And I went through like a whole acting boot camp hell, but which was a really good thing. But oh my God.
World.
Oh my God. She broke me down, but it helped me really understand what it takes to act. People think you're just a good liar. I'm like, no, it's really emotions in that scene. I'm telling you.
Well, you say that some people fake the emotion. So I'm actually really happy to hear that it was coming from a really organic place.
It was. And even this whole year I've been, I've had the introduction of audition tapes, and that has been so fun, but so challenging. But I'm taking on the challenge where I'm taking the same approach as I did with that character. It gave me such a one-up getting into acting, is taking the same mentality I had with working with this character into every character. I don't care if it's a waitress. I'm going to be the best waitress. I really want to know, what is her backstory? What does she do? Like, and it's fun. It's so fun. It's therapeutic too. Good God.
Yeah. What is beautiful about that as well, Kaylee, is the fact that you are attacking it almost like you do your boxing. The foundations have to be there with acting. The foundations have to be there, and you look like, or you sound like, that you're really sort of attacking it in the same way and not expecting it all to sort of fall into place all at once.
Yeah. I know I'm stumbling all across the place, and I know actors are just like fighters. It's like, don't think that you're just going to be an athlete just hopping up into our world, and we're the same way. We're fighters. Like, don't think because you're a marathon runner you can just come in here and spar. So I get it. I'm just trying to do my work. I'm all about doing the work. I like doing the work, and the result's gonna show for it. It's either I'm gonna have a really good result of doing really good work, or I'm gonna have a shitty result of doing shitty work. So
most people would respect you for that, because they'll expect you not to be able to act. That's the thing. I'm just telling you straight. They're going to expect you not to act. But then when you come and you show some, they'll be like, oh, fucking hell, all right. And then automatically the sportswoman tag is going to just disappear.
it didn't even appear that I'm
because you put the work in and you went in with humility. I bet I know why. It's because you went in with humility.
It's like amazing to me because it's not like people said I didn't know whether you were an actor to learn how to box or you were a boxer to learn how to act. I was confused.
That's a good compliment.
I said, yo, thank you. That's the best compliment I've ever heard. Because another thing is too, when you see the film, I could probably put on one piece of paper how many lines she had to say. It was a lot of non-verbal shit. Like, yeah, I just really had to get, and I knew the first day showing up on set, I could tell the energy. I'm like, oh, they think it's like, I'm going to just be this boxer that's trying to act. They think I'm going to suck. All right, cool. This is a familiar place for me because from birth, oh, she ain't going to be shit. Oh, she's not going to do shit. She's not good enough. Oh, cool. This is familiar for me. Watch this. And after the first take, the whole energy of the set changed. And I was like, okay, now I got the respect. All right, now I can work, you know.
Now I can just work.
Yeah, I knew that. I felt the pressure. I'm like, oh, they think it's gonna be one of them really stupid athletes. Okay, all right, I got this.
Going back to the fact that you came twice with Ebony Bridges to be in her corner, I was wondering if you had a chance to actually have, I don't know, visualized being in the ring in the UK fighting one of our fighters.
Absolutely. Come on now. That was in Eddie's backyard, of course, at fight camp. It's funny because it kind of gave me, it happened right on time because 3 weeks out, I go over there. Usually it's like, absolutely, you shouldn't travel when you're fighting. But it kind of gave me a little extra push in my ass because I'm like, I got to kind of experience fight day and media day and weigh-in day through her to kind of get me like, and I was like, I just like the atmosphere here. And then being there at fight night and then watching her fight and then being able to just kind of hang around and be in the atmosphere. Hell yeah. I cannot wait. And then I get to go to Leeds to go to her fight September 4th. That's going to be like a whole nother animal. Like I'm going to officially move to the UK after that, I'm sure. Because the atmosphere there, I'm sure is going to be insane. So of course, I've just pictured myself fighting over here for years now because I just love the fans, but absolutely being there, fight camp, and this is the second time and I'll be back over there again. It's like inevitable. I keep going there for a reason.
Nice. And by the way, congratulations to the team, Ebony, yourself and Brian, for that win. Really and truly, what is beautiful, like you say, is I think again is because you've just got a good spirit and people like you. And then obviously Ebony Bridges is in people's hearts here. So it's great that you're all collectively getting that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, she's an amazing fighter, yo. She is a little sponge and she's just a boxing enthusiast. She's an amazing person too. Two Virgos, of course, we get along, but I just am so excited for her to be able to, just like me, the work that she's putting in, even the short time, but the spirit that she has and the work ethic that she puts behind it. I'm so glad that she got the opportunity to fight Shannon Courtney when she did, to shut a lot of people up. And then to put her at ease, which now, okay, cool. Now y'all know I'm here for real. Now watch me work, kind of a thing. And it's just amazing that it happens to be in the UK where she has a crazy following. And then I think this is one of the friendships and the connection that y'all didn't know y'all needed. You didn't know you needed this partnership. So here we are. And I'm excited to be part of her journey too. She's an amazing person.
But you have also got a nice fan base here as well. So where can they see your fight Friday? Or I think it will be actually Saturday morning for us.
So it's going to be streamed live on UFC Fight Pass. The actual card starts at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is actually like 11 o'clock for me. So I'll be fighting in my boxing brain like early in the morning. But I believe UFC Fight Pass is available worldwide. You just kind of have to check your kind of service providers. It is a app though, UFC Fight Pass app, and then they should have the times listed right there.
Nice. Miss Kayleigh, you are an absolute pleasure, always a pleasure. You carry yourself with such grace and humility. All the best for Friday, and yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much.